Hello, and welcome to today's edition of Talking to a Biologist. Today I'm with Dr. Sylvie Renault from the Department of Biological Sciences here at the University of Manitoba. Welcome, Dr. Renault.
Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. So tell us a little bit about your area of research here at the University of Manitoba.
I'm a plant physiologist, and I'm interested in stress physiology. What is happening with plants is that they are not able to move like animals, so they have to be able to develop some mechanism to survive in stressful environments. And those plants are really quite amazing. They are able sometimes to develop or form some stress proteins, like antifreeze protein, for example, or also some heat shock proteins. And the stress I'm interested in is salinity stress. So plants need nutrients to survive, but if you have a high level of salt, for example, they are not going to be able to survive sometime because it can cause toxicity. And a lot of work has been done on crop species, but not a lot of work has been done on woody plants. So I was interested to look at woody plants. And one interesting species is red osier dogwood. It's a very interesting plant because it can grow on wet site and dry site. And it's also one of the most cold-tolerant species, and it can survive minus 196 degrees Celsius. You may wonder...
So say that again, 196 degrees Celsius?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to have to explain that.
Yes. What is happening, in fact, you may wonder how we know that. It's the temperature of liquid nitrogen. So that's how we know. We haven't experienced this low temperature.
Not even here in Manitoba does it get that cold.
Here. And what is happening, there are so different mechanisms that the plant can use. But I don't really want to go into this because I'm focusing on another stress. I just wanted to use that as an example. And I'm focusing on salinity stress, as I said. So we want to see if dogwood that has the ability to survive this cold temperature also can survive on both wet and dry area, can also survive salinity stress. Okay. So we are looking at the moment at the roots to see what is happening in the root, if there are any changes in cell wall or membranes that could help the plant to survive the stress. So that's one aspect of my
So
research.
that red osier dogwood, is that a native Manitoba species? Do we find that here?
Yeah, you find it here. It's also interesting because it's ornamental species, so it's quite popular all across North America as a ornamental species.
That's that beautiful woody stem that's got a red stem.
Yeah.
It got a red stem. So what brought you specifically here to the University of Manitoba? How did you end up here?
It's a kind of a long story. I've always liked working with plants, and I also like to work with rocks, in fact, when I was collecting rocks when I was a kid. And when I went to the university in France, I'm from France, I decided to go for plant biology. But the past 15 years, I also had the opportunity to work with the mining industry, and that's another aspect of my research. So I was working as a postdoc in Alberta. I had the opportunity to do that. So I've been able to combine both plant biology and geology, which I found it very exciting.
Yes, because of course plants regrowing on a mine site would be stressed as well. Do you do any of that sort of work here?
Yes, and in fact this work is done in collaboration with John Markham, who is an ecologist, and I think it's very important for physiologists to work in collaboration with ecologists. I think in the past we tend to work each on our side, but I think we can learn a lot from working together.
Well, that's really one of the strengths of this Department of Biological Sciences, isn't it?
Yes, that's true. That we have now more opportunity, and not just, I guess, with ecologists, but we can also work with animal physiologists, because I was talking earlier about cold tolerance, but some plants have the ability to supercool and also to develop freezing protein, freezing
protein.
Yeah, freezing protein. Yeah, exactly. So it's also some common point between those plants and animals.
So if you were talking to a first-year biology student out there who is interested in this sort of area and looked at plants and rocks and collected rocks as a kid, as I think some of us did, what advice would you have for that first-year biology student?
Well, one advice that I would say, I think as a first-year student, sometimes you may not be, you may be afraid to come and talk to us. So I'm really always happy if some first-year students are coming to our lab or contacting me by email and just ask us what we are doing, and we'll be really happy to show them what we are doing, and graduate students can talk to them.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Renault. That concludes today's episode of Talking to a Biologist. Your regular scheduled lecture will now begin. Thank you.